Hello, this is Scott Miller. Welcome to my second video on bullet journaling. If you're not already familiar with Ryder Carroll's bullet journal method and you're not already practicing with your own bullet journal, I would recommend that you watch my first video, which includes a bullet journal quick start guide. This will help you quickly learn about Ryder Carroll's bullet journal method and get started with your own bullet journal. But if you are already using your own bullet journal, you're already familiar with the method, then the 6 tips that I'm going to share in this video might be useful and interesting. And again, these are tips and suggestions based on my own experience with bullet journaling and some ideas that I've found helpful along the way. Tip number 1 is to explore Ryder Carroll's YouTube channel. I did already mention this in my other video, but it's worth mentioning again. Ryder Carroll has a number of excellent videos on his YouTube channel. It's a good idea to look through those videos and see what's there. You might find something interesting to you that you want to watch, or you might find a video that answers a question that's come up for you about the bullet journal method and how to use it. I've included a link to that video's page here in the description for this video. I definitely recommend that you take a look at it and subscribe to his channel so you can keep up with any new videos that he releases. Tip number 2 is trust the basic structure. If you're following the standard bullet journal method, you'll have an index at the front of your bullet journal, then your future log, then your first monthly log, and then your daily log. And then you might add a custom collection. And then you'll go back to your daily log for another couple pages. And then you'll add another custom collection, and then go back to your daily log. When I was first learning the bullet journal method, this all seemed a bit chaotic to me, so I had an idea. I got a 3-ring binder and I created dividers to split it up into sections. And so I had a section for my future logs, and then another section for all of my monthly logs, and then another section for all my daily logs, and then finally another section for all my custom collections. And this just seemed like a better way to do things, having things split up and organized in this way. But it wasn't. It wasn't better. I would rarely, if ever, look at anything except for my daily logs. I would create custom collections, I'd stick them in the back of the binder, and then never look at them again. So I went back to basics. I started a new bullet journal and followed Ryder Carroll's exact method. Every time I want to add something to my journal, whether it's a new daily log page, a custom collection, a new monthly log, whatever it is, I'll go to the next blank spread, I'll number the pages, I'll create whatever it is that I want to create, and then I'll go to the front and add that to my index. And this forces me to look at my index a lot. And I end up keeping better track of the different pages that I have in here, the different collections that I've added. I end up glancing at my different collections as I'm thumbing through trying to find the certain page that I want. And this helps me keep better track of projects and plans and the things that I have in my bullet journal. Helps me keep track of those things more easily. There's also something interesting and useful in the way that the bullet journal grows in this linear and organic fashion. It's kind of the same way that we experience life. My bullet journal isn't neatly compartmentalized into neatly divided sections like I might want it to be, but neither is my life. So organizing my bullet journal in the way that Ryder Carroll recommends has made it a lot more useful for me. So customize individual collections any way that you want. If you want your monthly log or daily log pages to look different from what Ryder Carroll recommends, great. Do what works for you. But I recommend that you trust the overall structure of the standard bullet journal method and the way that Ryder Carroll suggests adding collections to your bullet journal in a linear fashion, going to the next blank page, numbering it, adding it to your index, and doing it this way, at least in the beginning. You'll get a better understanding and appreciation for how this method actually works. And once you understand that, if you want to get creative and do something radically different with your bullet journal and structure it in a radically different way, great, give it a try. But you'll be able to compare it to something that's been shown to work really well. Tip number 3, make an instructions page. It's a good idea to have a page in your bullet journal where you list the different bullets and signifiers and what they signify. You might even write a brief description of the standard collections and how you use them. That way, if you forget how to do something, you can look right in your own bullet journal for the instructions. Tip number 4, if you go astray, start with today. So it's very normal to neglect your bullet journal for a couple days, maybe even a couple weeks or more, and especially in the beginning. When you're learning something new, it takes time to develop it into a consistent habit. So if you do forget to use your bullet journal for a little while, for a few days, even a few weeks, resist the temptation to go back and try to fill in all the things that you missed. Go ahead and start a daily log entry for today and list the things that you're working on right now. If you haven't looked at your bullet journal in a month or more, then maybe go ahead and start a monthly log for the current month, and then start a daily log entry for today, and then list the stuff that you're working on right now. Thinking that you have to go back and remember stuff that you missed and put it in here is just stressful, and it makes it harder for you to get back into the groove, get started, and start using your bullet journal again. So, if you stop using your bullet journal for a while, that's fine. Start with today. Put that in your bullet journal and move forward. That gap that you have, that stuff that's missing, is just going to be part of the story. It's totally fine. Tip number 5, have breakfast with your bullet journal. A great way to make sure that you actually use your bullet journal is to make it the first task that you complete at the beginning of every day. Before you go and start looking at emails or do any other task, spend some time looking at your bullet journal and thinking about how you want to spend your day. I even wrote "start here" on the front of one of my first bullet journals to remind myself to start my days by looking at it. And this can help you be more focused and intentional as you begin your other tasks. You'll learn to focus your time doing things that are most important to you. And that's really what the bullet journal method is all about. And finally, tip number 6, read the book. You can definitely start bullet journaling using just the information that I shared in my quick start video and in this 6 tips video. As I mentioned before, a number of my friends and family members and students and clients have started bullet journaling using just this same information. But this book goes into much greater detail and can help you get much more benefit out of using the bullet journal method, understand it a lot better, really dive in deeper into what the bullet journal method is all about. So right now, get out your bullet journal, go to your daily log, and create a task that says, read the bullet journal method. You can migrate it to your future log if you don't have time to read it this month, but if you want to get the most from the bullet journal method, you really want to get the most benefit from it, then definitely read the book. Thanks for watching. I hope this is helpful. If you're confused at all about the bullet journal method, or if you were hoping to see more information about how to actually do it, go ahead and watch that quick start video that I mentioned. That's really what that video is all about. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give us a like, subscribe to our channel, and if you have your own tips or suggestions that you'd like to share, go ahead and add those to the comments. I'd love to see any suggestions or advice that you found helpful as you've been bullet journaling.